Hey, it's Jess from Moody Music. In just a few moments, you'll be seeing my chat with Dan and Caleb from the Perth band Nautical Mile. Just a few things before we get into the interview is that this interview was actually done in October-September after the Embers EP was released, and the Perth show that we talk about during this interview has actually already happened, and I hope it was a really kick-ass night for Nautical Mile and for everyone else who went. Make sure that you are following Nautical Mile's social media to find out when the rest of the Embers tour is going to happen, when it gets rescheduled and re-announced. I will be leaving links in description, so go check those out, give those a follow, and also check out Moody Music links as well. Here we go, interview. Hi guys, thanks for joining me. I'm Jess, I run Moody Music blog, and today I'm joined with a couple of randoms from Nautical Mile.
Hi, I'm Dan. I'm guitarist and do a bit of backup vocals, programming for Nautical Mile. And yeah, happy to be here. It's good to have a chat.
Hey, I'm Caleb and I play the drums in Nautical Mile.
What does Nautical Mile mean? Were you guys like in the Navy or just love the ocean?
This question. It actually has no meaning, right? I used to be in another band prior to Nautical Mile, and I just remember suggesting we call the band Nautical Mile. And anyway, so that was laughed at, and we called it Desolation Nightmare, which was horrific. So anyway, I think I had like PTSD, and I was like, well, the next band I'm going to suggest it again. We'll see how stupid that was. And these guys just. I don't think we had any better names at the time. I'm not saying Nautical Mile is the best name ever either, but that's how it ended up sticking. And it has no meaning at all, except I feel like I won on the inside. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we had any other. I think we called ourselves very briefly for like one jam, like Last Across the Line or something. Do you remember? Or at least that's the name that was written on the board when I turned up, and I was like, oh, okay, this is yeah, cool. And then changed it to Nautical Mile, and just sort of stuck. I think it was, you said it and we all just went, yeah, and that was it. It was done then.
Nice, easy. Caleb, you just kept trying it in all the different bands until someone said, yeah. Was that pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much. I was quite persistent, so we got away with it in the end. But I mean, the question comes up all the time, and yeah, besides that, there's no meaning that we hold close to our hearts or anything like that.
Now, follow-up question to that. Do you guys use Nautical Mile as like a reference point instead of like Google Maps, like, oh, in 400 meters, do you guys just go like, oh yeah, 1 nautical mile down the road? I feel it'd be so much easier.
No, but we should. That's a good idea. I'm going to start doing that just to really...
I feel like you're guilty. I feel like I've heard you throw that one around a couple of times, Dan. I mean, I don't even know how long a nautical mile is, if I'm honest. Something we probably
1.1 regular miles.
Yeah, see, I told you. So, I mean, Dan's guilty.
He's looked into it, yeah.
Have to know, you've got to make sure you know these things in case someone asks you where the band name came from.
I want to get into the new EP, which you released just a little bit over a month now. It is called Embers. It's 5 tracks, and I'm going to stretch your guys' memory a little bit back to when you guys released Purgatory about November last year. Was this the first single off the EP?
Yeah, I think at the time we'd written a few tracks. This was sort of like going back to probably like this pre-COVID almost, like the start of when we were all locked down. We'd written a few songs, and Purgatory was like the standout track of those, and we wanted to get into the studio, record something, and put something out. So we got into the studio eventually. Obviously, with everything that happened last year, it kind of got pushed back and back and back. And by the time we got round to recording Purgatory, we'd started to write the rest of the songs that came onto the EP, and then got ready to release Purgatory, had everything ready to go, and then Manic Cat record label approached us and said, hey, we're really interested in having you guys come on board. So because of that, we had to stall the release of Purgatory a bit, and then by the time Purgatory was ready to go, we had the other 4 songs for the EP, and we were pretty happy with them, and we were like, right, well, let's put it all together and make this as, you know, one sort of body of work and one EP, and with the intention of tracking and releasing it a lot sooner than we actually got around to because of, again, lockdowns and various other COVID things that kept happening to us. So yeah, originally probably not intended to be sort of like a lead single from the EP. It was always going to be a single by itself, but then it sort of just worked out that way that it fit really nicely with the other songs that we'd written. And yeah, just worked out that way.
What was the meaning behind the song? What was the concept idea for Purgatory?
So for Purgatory, like, I guess the whole EP is kind of about like loss and grief, and Purgatory was sort of like the first song that really took that meaning and ran with it. So obviously Purgatory is the state between the afterlife and living that you go. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the show, the movie The Others. It's a whole Nicole Kidman movie. It's not very good. I had to watch it in year 10 English, but it's about purgatory. It's about being trapped in this sort of state of being between two places and never being able to go forward or go back, and sort of relating that to how it feels to be, you know, to have suffered a loss, to be grieving over something. You know, you can't go back to the way life was before the event happened, and you're then stuck not truly being able to move on with life, and so you get stuck in this sort of horrible limbo where you can't move forward. So yeah, I guess that was sort of the first track that we wrote where that theme came through, and then that sort of informed what we were going to do with the rest of the EP when it came to the writing of the lyrics and the meanings behind them.
For the music video, what was it like on the day? Because I know in the music video, you've got these like pole lights and the mattress and this dude like running away from death, and yeah, what was it like on the day? Was there many naps on the mattress in between?
Well, it's always funny. I think we must look like weirdos going around getting props and things for the video. So that one, obviously there was a bed that's prominent throughout. So we're driving around with a bed hanging out and then chucking our mate in it, Oscar, who is the character in Purgatory. I don't know. I suppose it's always exciting filming music videos. At the same time, it can be stressful as well. And there's also a little bit of uncertainty as to how it's going to come out. Although you may have envisioned, this is exactly how it's going to go. You've got the props, you've got the videographer who's really good at what he does. Not always does it come out exactly how you're expecting, I suppose. But it did in the end, and at the same time, it was a lot of fun. And I think that that paid off in the end. I thought Purgatory music video was pretty good in the end, actually, and we were quite happy. So I think if we had lots of fun and the music video didn't come out great, then we wouldn't be speaking so highly. But as it was fun and it come out great, then I mean, everyone's happy at the end of the day, and yeah, that's kind of how Purgatory was filmed in the end.
Yeah, we got absolutely drenched doing the outside scenes. Do you remember? Because so there's the 3 like separate sort of like environments in the video. There's like the forest, there's the big grassy area, and then there's the lake at the end. And we were doing the big grassy area, the shots there, and it just halfway through a shoot, the heavens just opened, so everything got drenched, and we're like, oh shit, what are we gonna do with all of, like suddenly got soaking wet bed, soaking wet Oscar. We're all like hiding in cars, trying to stay dry. It was. That's there's one thing you can't really plan for is the weather when it's an outside thing. At least when you're indoors, that's not an issue. But we'd been pretty lucky with all of our videos up until that point. All the outdoor ones we'd done had been reasonably good weather, and then we just got soaked. But it still turned out good.
Now I noticed that Purgatory, is that the only music video that you guys have been able to do for the EP?
We put out one for Suppression, which came out the day that the EP was released. So that was sort of like obviously Purgatory came out in November last year. We wanted to get some more music out there. So we dropped the video for Suppression as sort of like the boost for the EP. And then there's a lyric video for Where Do We Go that's coming out very soon, if not already.
What do you mean, if not already?
It's out.
Depends.
What?
It's
Have you not had that band meeting yet? What?
It's no, it's time zone dependent on whether it's because obviously the label are based in the US. It's whether they've sorted it yet. It may be out now.
One thing that I do really want to talk about is the album art. I find it just like so like beautiful and dark because it's these bright red roses within the ashes. When I first saw the album art, I was kind of like, it looked kind of like sexy, even though that's really weird to say. It was just like so like beautiful and dark. And what was the idea behind that? How did that idea come about that, yes, we're going to have bright red roses in a bunch of ashes?
Okay, so I'll give you the honest answer. Look, how we did that was my older brother does all the graphic design for us. So, I mean, obviously we send him the music as well, and he has a little listen, and, you know, he's pretty crafty like that. And then, you know, we'll say a few ideas like, oh, it'd be nice to have, you know, these elements. And obviously we wanted something that was a little bit darker as well to go with the theme of the songs. From there, I don't remember saying we want, you know, it must have this red rose or whatever it was. It was kind of, Zach showed us, you know, a few ideas, and he's come back with initially something that looked quite similar to that. And I think with a few bits and pieces and pointers from some of us in the band, it came out the way it did. But all credit to Zach, because I think, without his ideas there, it might have looked really different. Probably still would have been cool, but wasn't the same.
Yeah, it's just like really just like rich and beautiful imagery. It's gorgeous. It's on point. Yes. Some of the best cover art I've seen in a while.
We'll give him the
we'll pass on the message. We'll be stoked to hear that.
I want to know what your guys' favourite song is off the Embers EP. It could be a really popular song, an underdog song, one that's fun to play. What would you recommend to others?
I guess I've got two. So I love playing Where Do We Go live. It's just got this really good sort of bouncy energy to it, and it just works really, really well as a live song. It's really fun to play as well, which is obviously a huge bonus. But in terms of like listening, I still can't really go past Purgatory. I think that's just a really nice, well-rounded song. And it's been out the longest, so I guess I've had the longest to sort of digest it, I guess. But I just think it's a really solid track. It shows off what we do really nicely, and it just came together really, really well.
Yeah, I've probably got a similar answer to Dan. I still rate Purgatory as my favourite of the lot, which in a sense is good. In the same time, I wish we had one-upped it with one of the other songs, for me personally anyway. Like maybe for the listeners it's different. But yeah, I still think Purgatory comes across as maybe the stronger track of the lot on the EP. Playing them live doesn't really bother me. I mean, it's all songs, it's all drums. I'm still hitting things. I'm happy. So yeah, it doesn't bother me. Dan's got a preference.
Now, you guys are from Perth. You're a Perth band, and you've still been able to play shows these past, 18 months? How's that been? You guys are lucky. And you've got some shows coming up, or a show coming up, sorry.
Yeah, we have been lucky. I mean, I know over East it's, been a very different scenario and setting over there, and, it's not ideal. We've just, got away with it lightly for whatever reason. It's the first time being isolated in WA. Has, I suppose you could say, paid off in a sense, because it has been nice to not be walking around with masks all the time or having, very strong and long lockdowns. So, yeah, I mean, I think we played the first show back in Perth actually after the longest lockdown we had, and the line was crazy long all night. all night. And it was, yeah, you could say it was sold out, but it wasn't at full capacity. You know, we still had those limits, but it was nice. It was nice. We had a short break from shows and then got stuck back into it. And we've had a few lockdowns in between, which has altered a few plans. We've lost a few shows to that. I'm not complaining because it's nothing like what others have gone through. And then we had to cancel a tour. So that was a bit of a shame, except for Perth. So we were really looking forward to get back over east. We love playing to, you know, in new places, new venues, playing to new people. I mean, that's, you know, it's one of the main reasons we like to, you know, make music, go and, you know, see new places and people. And that's not worked out this time. We kind of knew that that could be the outcome, booking a tour considering the circumstances. So yeah, we're just playing Perth this Saturday. It's still going to be great. We're looking forward to it, but yeah, hopefully there's a bit more travel to come in the next year, I think.
Yeah, and as you just said, yeah, for the Embers tour, you guys were meant to be going, was it Adelaide, Brisbane, and Melbourne, which unfortunately has been postponed, but you are still playing Perth, which is very, very good. So you could almost say that the Embers tour is happening all in one night, in a way.
We'll make sure of it. Yeah, I think we'll probably treat it as if it's 4 shows rolled into one, and then when hopefully borders get opened at the start of next year and we can travel around a bit more freely, we'll be able to. I'd say finish the tour off, but it's not even started really, is it? With one show, so continue the tour, and we'll get back over as soon as we can.
Yeah, you could play 4 sets in one night, and just with that tour, I believe you guys had Carrington signed up to support. Now, Caleb, you're in Carrington and Nautical Mile. What did you say to those guys? Were you like, could you come on tour with us? And they're like, if you want to play double sets every night, go for it.
Oh, Carrington. Well, I'm not in Carrington anymore. I was filling in for them on a permanent sort of basis, I suppose. I mean, we've been good friends with Carrington for years. We record with Emmett, who sings in Carrington, and they needed a drummer for a bit there, so I stepped in. I knew their songs, and it was good fun. But it was something I was never gonna, it wasn't gonna work out for me to stay in 2 bands and dedicate, that time and effort that each band deserves. So even though I would have done that, it would have been a bit of a marathon. I reckon I would have lost a limb or 2 playing back-to-back sets, for that tour with Carrington. So no, I would have been safe. They would have had another fill-in drummer. So yeah, we missed out on seeing my face in all sorts of pain, I think.
And for someone who hasn't been to a Nautical Mile show, what can people expect at your shows? On your Perth show and when you head interstate as well?
I guess we really like to try and make a big spectacle, try and make a spectacle out of things. Like we try, especially when we're at venues that we know well, like when we play in Perth and some of the other venues we've been to over East a few times, we try and really bring lighting and make the whole thing like an audio visual thing, lighting, video backdrops, all of that sort of thing, because that really adds to the show. And it's one of those things you don't realize you're missing until it's not there, and it just really completes the whole experience. So we try and really play that up, and yeah, just bring the energy really, and just keep a really high octane sort of flow the whole way through the night. Try and take people on a bit of a journey as well. Yeah, just try and keep it really high energy, high movement, and then cut it off and leave people wanting more.
Yeah, and I think with that as well, I mean, as every band tries to anyway, but we do really try our best to imitate how it sounds on the record. Like that's what you're there for. I mean, I've been to some band shows before, and some of the songs I thought I knew I didn't because they didn't really translate live, I suppose. I think that might happen with some of our songs as well. I'm not sure, but we try our best to, have it, the audio sounding, as close to, even though it's a live show, which I think is more exciting anyway. Yeah, we try to imitate how it should sound when you're listening, on Spotify or whatever it might be you use.
Yeah, live shows are always More exciting than Spotify for sure. Do you guys have any final messages you would like to say on behalf of the band about the Embers EP, or any messages you want to get out to fans?
Just want to, I guess, give everyone a huge shout out and thanks for ongoing support over the last 12 to 18 months. Like, I guess every artist has been in the same boat as we have. Worldwide, it's not even just an Australian thing, it's a worldwide thing where it's been really, really hard for us to get out and connect face to face. So being able to stay in touch with people online and still have people listen to our music, still have people interact with us and, want to get to know us and want to follow the band and get the music. It just means a lot. And we're really, really bummed about not being able to get out on the Embers tour and sort of see everyone. So just want to thank everyone for sticking with us, and we will be back as soon as we can. And we're really looking forward to it as well.
Yeah, well said. I don't really have anything else to say. I think Dan said it all. We have a lot of flight credits that are to be used now. So, we are looking forward to getting back over east, and, the minute that we can, we will. And, it's going to be a fun time and a bit of a party.
Awesome. Very nicely said, both of you. Thank you guys so much for joining me for a chat tonight. I've been Jess. You can check out all the Moody Music blog links. I will put them in the description, as well as all of Nautical Mile's links as well, so everyone can go check out everyone, have a little friendly stalk. Yeah, be very good. Thank you so much for joining me, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.